Hey everybody, Kevin here with Pursuing Pixels, and as you can see here, I'm going to be checking out some Wild Guns Reloaded, and I shouldn't be saying checking out because I've actually played quite a bit of this, although I've actually been playing the original Super Nintendo version, which doesn't have these two extra characters, Doris and Bullet, but I know we usually check out indie games on the channel, but we're going a little retro, semi-indie here at the moment. But this is one that definitely want to talk about on the podcast, but if you're not familiar with this game from Super Nintendo era, it was one that ended up being super rare in later days. Like, I wasn't familiar with it at the time that it was released, even though I had a Super Nintendo, not from day one, but roughly, in the same era. Or not roughly, definitely in the same era. But, yeah, this is one that, I wasn't aware of, and by the time I was aware of it, it was a super rare collector's item that would go for, well into the hundreds, if not more. So yeah, it was one that I never had my hands on, but yeah, this Reloaded adds, widescreen. It's still pretty much the same presentation. I think there's maybe, a few new guns, but like I mentioned, there's the 2 new characters, and up to 4-player co-op instead of 2-player co-op, but it's a pretty unique game. It's like a full-blown gallery shooter, which you don't see a lot of, at least not in the sense of, where it's not a light gun game. I'm in control of not only the cursor here with my D-pad, or in this case I'm playing on Nintendo Switch, so with my joystick. But yeah, it just feels so great to play this game. I've just been, like I said, me and my brother have been getting super pumped. I believe we are on the last level. We've made it to the final boss a couple times, but we'll see how far I can make it on this run here. And again, these videos are just kind of meant to spotlight some of my favorite games, or at least games that maybe fly a little under the radar, and this one is one that flew under the retro radar and flew under the, at least at the time, a little bit. Dang it. Not that people weren't aware of it entirely, but, I was thinking I was going to go on a run here, but you only get 3 lives. I think this version lets you continue, but you can also, there's 3, phases to each level, or 3 stages per level, if that makes sense. This is still level 1 here, so I still got to beat this and one more thing, which is, the last phase is, a boss, a main boss, because there's kind of, a mini-boss, we just faced there, and there's a mini-boss at the end of this stage. But yeah, if you like what you see here, we'll have links in the video description, as always, to where you can check this game out for yourself, but got the ability to dive, you've got the ability to jump when you're not shooting, you can actually pick up these dynamite sticks as long as you can get out of the way and throw them back. It's just really cool. There's a ton of mechanics, and to be honest, like I said, this is the updated, modernized version of this game, but me and my brother have been playing on the Super Nintendo version, the gameplay online on the Switch, and it honestly plays just as smooth, and it really feels amazing. It's kind of really, really impressive. I don't know exactly what year this came out originally as far as on the Super Nintendo, but there's really nothing quite like it. Again, especially not, with the, at least, for the Super Nintendo, it'd be a Super Scope game, but yeah, I just am a huge fan of this game, easily became one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. This is definitely a contender. And that Super Nintendo is honestly probably my favorite console. But yeah, all of the characters have the ability to kind of if you tap real quick, you can throw a lasso and kind of freeze enemies for a short time. You can double jump. When you're firing, like I said, you can kind of do a dodge roll. You are invulnerable while you do that. You can also shoot the projectiles out of the air. And now we're going to get our little boss, which this guy's a punk. But yeah, you can kind of shoot the projectiles if they fire them off at you, if you're able to hit them. But yeah, there's a few different weapon upgrades. I'm going to save my bomb, hopefully, for the main boss, if I can skate out of here alive. I'm down to my last life, so that is a very kind of wishful thinking here. But maybe I can take out this club owner here. That's kind of what I picture them as. Sit down, punk. Let's go. So yeah, now we're talking. This is it's kind of like a Western sci-fi, which is pretty cool, especially for the time. There really wasn't much like that. I mean, nowadays you name any kind of crossover or hybrid, and it's probably been done. Oh yeah, get out of there. Oh yeah, get out of the way. Hey pal, what do you got? Semi-truck? Nothing. Let's go with the bomb. See, I got the bombs at the bottom of the screen, I think. Oh, shoot. Yes, you're also invulnerable while you're firing those off, which I thankfully did at the perfect time there. I'm gonna hopefully, I got 2 more left. I thought I was down to my last, but yeah, it kind of negates the enemy attack when you use the bomb as well. Let's go, let's go. Is there another phase or is that over? I think it's over, baby. Sit down, I lucked out of that one. So that should be a checkpoint, I think. This game, I think, also does have, like, online leaderboards and stuff. I'm not 100% positive about that, but heck yeah. I did not expect to beat that, and I think I might even get a 1-up. Yes, you do typically get 1-ups. I think it's a certain point amount that you get the 1-ups, but typically after beating a stage. I don't think you can collect them until you kind of total out. But yeah, now you kind of Mega Man style get to select your levels. This kind of looks like a new level. That doesn't look familiar from what my brother and I have played. Underground? I don't know. Let's try the ammunition depot and go there first. Again, like I said, my brother and I were not playing this version, which unfortunately this version doesn't have online play, which is why we've been playing the Super Nintendo version instead. But otherwise, this does have... It's essentially, I mean, it's the same game, but just modernized with more stuff. And like I said, definitely more characters, and beyond that, I think there are more levels, or at least more something. I don't know. But yeah, up to 4 player. Oh, I dodged that? I thought I was dead there for sure. But I missed the machine gun. Dang it. I gotta remember I have my bomb. My 1 bomb left. Dang it. Yeah, you can even use your freeze attack. Oh, 2 bombs make it. You can even use your freeze attacks on bosses and stuff, and even the machinery. It's not just like the human enemies. Then, yeah, when... shoot! Oh, I was thankfully invulnerable when I was throwing the dynamite, I think. Either that or I dove at the last possible freaking second. Sit down, finally. There's some punk boss on this level, too. I remember even on this first chunk of the stage. But yeah, you gotta fire the collectibles. Whether they're weapons or like those gemstones, you gotta shoot them to collect them, and you gotta do it pretty quickly before they disappear. The little bags of gold. Montana Max is getting jealous. Almost Montana Max. So stupid. Oh Jesus. Yes. Oh, sit down, punk. Yeah, if you get them just right in the chest, sit down. Little weasel. I'm doing okay here. Pulling myself out of a poor start there. But this stage gets a little tough. But thankfully, like I said, since I've been playing, I kind of know what to expect. And it is nice having the widescreen. There's like a tiny bit of scrolling going on here to the left and right, but in the Super Nintendo, you just have the 4:3 ratio, and it is much more limited, so you're scrolling a bunch, especially when you're playing co-op. It's kind of tough if you're not on the same page. It's kind of tough to maneuver around. But yeah, it's also tough to, like, you got to make sure you're focusing on not only aiming, because you got to make sure you're taking out enemies before they get shots off, or, you know, firing and destroying their projectiles, but you also got to watch your character, because, like, for example, that character right up at the front of the screen, I'm actually not, that was a waste of bombs. I still got 1 left, though. Get the laser, yeah. And that's, yeah, just like typical Contra fashion. Just... You got the letter on the weapon that you're going to pick up. I think I just switched to the shotgun, which is also a good weapon. Actually, I prefer to the laser just because the laser's a little slower to keep up with the cursor. It's kind of like a slight lag to it on purpose. But yeah, you got to watch the ammo once you pick up a new ability. Kind of on your character's bar at the bottom. But yeah, you just kind of have to be aware of everything going on. There's like almost like it's obviously not a platformer, but it's like a little bit of that feel. And then yeah, when you fill up your meter all the way, that little like kind of bomb meter. Oh, I didn't realize I could juggle that bag of money. But yeah, when you fill that meter up all the way, you kind of get like powered up for a while, which is really nice. You actually get really powered up. I was able to take down one of the later bosses, not later bosses, come on, later mini bosses, I should say, like without them even getting a shot off on me in one occasion with my brother. Oh no. Lucky, because, yeah, this little punk in the back gets some quick shots off. Yeah, that quick pot shot. That's it. Dang it. Ah, man. Now, am I going to be able to continue? I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, it won't save my score on the rankings. But you know what? Why don't I show off one of the new characters instead? So let's play another run, and then I'll probably call the video there and see how far I can get. But obviously you have some different difficulty settings there and some more to even unlock. But I love this little dachshund here. And you kind of have this little mech that follows you around. So yeah, the first stage is the same, and then after that you can pick between one of the four. So if I'm able to beat this, which hopefully I can, again... but yeah, you can see like you have your cursor, and then once you start firing, you kind of have like a range. I don't know if you can, hopefully you can see that kind of diamond shape, or that like kind of reticle, or beyond the reticle, that kind of appears once I start shooting. Like it just kind of will target anything within there, so it's kind of, you can focus more on the dodging. Otherwise, you pretty much control the same. Otherwise, and then you just kind of have to make sure that this drone is in range, especially for like melee attacking, and yeah, it can get kind of put out of commission, as you saw there, if it takes a hit, but it doesn't do any damage to you, thankfully, because it's one-hit death otherwise. So yeah, I just really like the kind of auto-targeting. Kind of reminds me of Risk of Rain 2. I always play, or not always, but almost always play as the Huntress, just because I don't have to focus so much on the aiming. I can just kind of run around and dodge and maneuver and just kind of make sure I'm roughly targeting what I need to be. But yeah, this game is just really, really awesome. And I don't want to open my fat mouth and jinx it, but I feel like I'm doing much better this run. Although this is where I died twice last time, so don't even say a thing. Get that double jump in. But yeah, every character, the other character, oh, come on, there we go, another death. The two new characters they added pretty much have the same kind of controls. Gosh dang it, you gotta be kidding me. There I go again, right in the exact same position. So hopefully this other level's a little tighter quarters. Hopefully I can utilize this auto-targeting a little more effectively here. Make sure I get that money. Give me those gold sacks. I gotta make sure I think about my bombs too. Oh, come on, that's it? Well, I'm not gonna call it there. I might as well show off the other new character, Doris, since that was completely pathetic, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say. I think that was Stone Cold's theme song. Yeah, for sure, right at the beginning. And it had to be him saying it. But yeah, let's give Doris a try. Clint and Annie were the two main characters, which couldn't have more generic, but in the best way, character names. But yeah, Doris is more of a, you kind of throw grenades, and the longer you hold down the fire button, the more grenades you throw. So you just have one if you just sit there, but I think you can get up to 5. Nope, yeah, it is up to 5, but you have to hold it down for quite a while. So a little more strategic, a little slower on the trigger, obviously, but you also have the ability to kind of slam down. That's one of your only like kind of added things that wasn't available. Like none of the other characters have kind of like a ground pound or anything. Oh, come on, I take a stinking slash. Yeah, Doris is probably my weakest character to play as, just in the sense like I'm not very good. And have played with her the least. But oh, you can get that quadruple lasso going. I do like that. And I do know, yeah, you can pick up, well, I thought I got the machine gun, but I guess I was just a second too late and missed that pickup. But yeah, I guess you can still pick up the other guns. But dang, yeah, like I said, I really, really stink with Doris. And yeah, much slower character, but still pretty nimble as far as like, yeah, this slide, the jumping and stuff. You can still do the double jump and everything, so. But yeah, you gotta be a little more strategic. I would say this character worked a lot better for me when I was able to play co-op when I'd played this game in the past. Just in the sense that, yeah, you can play a little more defensively, but I do like that you can sort of cut your slide off, it kind of feels. see if I can at least beat this robo-skeleton. Oh, and I almost died right there. Almost threw in the towel right off the bat. Oh yeah, get out of the way. Sit down, Robo. Yes. All right, live another day, or at least another third of a level. But yeah, you gotta destroy these tables and stuff. Like that there's like a little bit of destruction going on in the environments. They will kind of protect the enemies. Ah, I guess maybe you just don't get the power-ups with Doris, because it looked like I got that grenade launcher, although I died pretty much immediately. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going to call it there on that end, although I'm probably just going to keep playing this on my own here. And this is one that we definitely plan on talking about on the podcast at some point. Both forms of the game, the Super Nintendo and this reloaded version. So I might as well start a new run with Clint here. But yeah, I'm going to call it there for this little spotlight, but I'm probably going to do some streaming of this game too. I think this would be a really fun one to stream on a late night or something. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching as always. And if you're somehow unfamiliar with this one, I would say either way you can play it, whether on Super Nintendo, on Switch, or Reloaded. I would probably recommend this one over the two, especially if you're playing single player or multiplayer, but it is nice that it does have the online multiplayer on the Super Nintendo. But anyways, I'm rambling more than I need to, but thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in again, and take care.